Okay, here we go. I'm gonna try to do both programs in one video. So this week we're gonna have program exercise 3, program exercise 4 on 1168. Okay, so for the number 3 on pay order sum, write an application that connects to the coffee database, then calculate and displays total amount in the of unpaid orders. That would be the sum of each row in the cost column. Okay, this one, unpaid orders. So basically what I did for this one was just kind of create a variable to hold that amount that's gonna happen. And then I do like the string to create my connection. And then I try my connection here, connect driver manager, and then create the statement object. So in that way I can use it. And then basically create my select statement. That's what is gonna go into the database, and then attach it to that statement. So total result, will be statement execute total statement. So that's the object, and this is what will be execute. Then this will be the result, and it will put in the amount variable, and then yeah, total result variable. And then I just display it with the print method. And then I close the connection, and this is the catch. Basically, if it doesn't connect, it will say that it was an error. Okay, then run file. I will see here the total amount on unpaid orders is 392 for that 45. Well, this is based on the unpaid order table. I find my book didn't have access for some reason to the system, but I found them, and kind of like was created. So these are the amounts, and I actually, once you add all these in your calculator, the amount will be 392.45. So based on this table I create here. Okay, and then for the next one is population database. So again, I didn't have access to it for some reason. I couldn't, but like I find the table online. It didn't work at the beginning, but I kind of fixed it and make it work, so I was able to create the database and the table, and then so I could do it. So basically, you create the database, you have it from the book, great. But the important part is write a program that connects the city database and allows the user to select any of the following operations. So basically, you will be able to sort the cities by population ascending order. So the city by population in descending order, set the cities by name, get the total population of the cities, get the average population on all the cities, and get the highest population and get the lowest population number. Okay, so how I did this, I use the 3 classes that I was explaining on the book on how to display like JTables. So I use this table formatter because I can use it. It's like pretty general. It basically creates a JTable with 2 arrays, and then put in a scroll pane as pretty much what the class does. This is just how, like, the width and the height of it. Then I use the choir. This one would be like a choir class, which is allow me to connect to my database with this statement and then kind of get the metadata that I'm gonna use to create the JTable that I wanna display in my app. It does it with where I need this to connect, and then it does it for with two arrays, one for names and one for data on the table, column names, and then this is a method that will create the connection that is right here, get data connection. So it creates the object connection and then it drop an exception. If you cannot connect, it will drop an exception and it will get out. Then we will do basically this is create the statement for the choir. This is like to set it on the scroll. Then basically here you will execute the choir, but the choir is gonna come from a statement I'm gonna have in my app. So this is not here. It will come once I do my app. Then it will use the result set methods kind of thing to like create the arrays. So once you get it, once you get the statement, it will connect to the database and it will go into the table and go into the first row and get the number. So that will give the size of the arrays, and then it will use the metadata object to create metadata with those arrays already created. So with this array will create the columns, the metadata columns, which is with this loop, and then with the table data array it will create like the data is gonna be used with this loop. And then it will give you it will you can close, and this is an exception if like you cannot get a connection or like you get an exception. Okay, and then we go to the app. Like he says, you need basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 statements, but like it has to be one at a time. So I use radio buttons for that. It was appropriate to use radio buttons because you can pick, and I will pick one statement and I will create it. So I create a panel for those radio buttons. I create a panel for a submit button, which is basically this radio button will give me a statement and the submit button will send it to get the metadata and display. And then this is just to hold. I needed to hold a string. That's gonna be the SQL statement. I call the window city info viewer just to give it a name. And then of course you will have an exit button, and then this is how you build my radio button panel and my submission and exit buttons. You just put my radio buttons in the top and my other buttons in the bottom. You just make it visible. Then this is how you create the panel. So basically create a radio button, call ascending. That will basically you click there, it will give a statement and it will organize everything in ascending mode, and with this one's basically the same. This is for like selection with the keyboard, and this is all gonna be attached to a choir listener that I'm gonna show later. But yeah, basically ascending by name, total, average, highest. Then I group them and add them to a panel. And the same with the bottom panel, so create the submit button, the exit button, and attach them to listeners and add them to a panel. This is the choir listener. Basically, this is how I'm gonna create the statements. Once they pick a radio button, so if it's the ascending one, so it will put this string on the choir variable, and that's what is gonna be sent to the choir class to do the rest. So this is for order by population that we're creating in ascending order. If we're gonna do it the descending, it will be order by population with descend. Sort name, basically ordered by city name, and then get total, average, highest. So some population, average population, highest, max population, lowest minimum population. The submit button listener is what is gonna send a statement to that choir using the choir class. So create the object from the choir class here, and then this is how we attach it with the get column names and the get table. So once you get the choir, that's how you're gonna get the names and the kind of like the metadata that is gonna be sent to the table formatter too. So this will basically get the data, and this will create the JTable to display it. Exit button listener is just to get out, and the main method basically just create the app. Okay, let's run it really fast. Okay, so this is what I got. It doesn't look beautiful, but like I was having really a lot of trouble like creating the databases because I didn't have access to the bookings, and plus I didn't know like you had to run any of the package too. Like if you don't run any of the package, it won't work. But anyway, so we have the ascending that will give me a table which is displayed in another window. We say here, so lower population, big, like I guess the bigger population. Descending, the same. You will see here like the max population in top, and then lower. By name, that will create in alphabetical order. Totals, it will just give me the total of all the populations. And then average will give me the average. Basically this is, and then again highest read, so this is the highest and lowest. And actually if I create this, I can probably show you too that the lowest is 118 and the highest is 324. And the same if you do descending. So the highest 324, 3.24 and 1.18 kilowatts. That's it. So that's what I did with the program. Thank you.